What's up guys, I'm Millie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So as you guys can see from the title of the video, we are going to be doing part 2 of the youth in and the 21st century question. So I have two very close friends of mine that will be taking part in this video. They're just going to be doing the exact same thing that we did in the part 1. They're just going to share a bit about their perspective and what they think is affecting young Christians nowadays. So let's get started.
Okay, how are you? How's it going?
Yeah, really well. Same old.
Yeah.
Much as
Life is great.
it's kind of nice just being able to like rest and stuff though.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh my gosh, someone keeps calling me and it's like, oh my days. Let me just, oh my days. This is not good. Okay, yeah. So what is one thing you can think of is it would be or is impacting Christian young people right now?
At the moment, obviously, in this sort of like pandemic we're in, that is quite a big factor in what could be impacting people. So obviously not being able to get to church and see friends and sort of getting input from peers, I imagine difficult at the moment. And I think in general, not just for this sort of stage we're in at the moment, but I think in schools in general, I found, especially when I was growing up in school as a Christian, I felt quite isolated and quite alone as a Christian. And I didn't have anyone from my church go to my school that was in my year group, so always kind of had that disconnect almost from my church peers compared to sort of school peers. So yeah, feeling quite isolated is probably one thing that is probably quite challenging as a Christian at the moment, but also in general.
Right. And how did you come about it? Like, how did God help you to do that?
So I think I went to a few different churches growing up, and the first two that I went to, and didn't really have anyone around my age sort of to hang out with that church, so I never made those connections.
Right. But
sort of when we moved church when I was in year 5 for the last time, and we went to a church that had a lot of people my age. So I think feeling isolated at school, it was really important to be connected into a good group at church. So that I had message sort of throughout the week, even if I didn't see them all the time. So at school it felt quite isolating, but actually sort of outside of school and throughout the week going to sort of midweek groups and things, I had a really good group of friends to connect into. So
that's so good. And how would you encourage like other young people that would probably be facing something similar to you right now?
I think being really intentional with your friendships is really important. So yeah, like I said, when I grew up, I didn't have many friends at school, Christians, so I've always felt that disconnect there. But connecting with people from your church, if you go to church, is really important. So invest in those friendships, message throughout the week, make sure you're getting along to sort of midweek groups where you can see them, things like that really. So,
that's so good. Love that. And I think it's so good as well because especially in this generation, a lot of things are like just being thrown at young people, and to kind of have an idea of what you can do, especially like in your situation where you're the only Christian in your school. And for some people who are out there, if you're facing the same thing or something that is kind of similar to what Tim went through when he was in school, just like keep going, keep pushing, find a church around you, find people, like he said, be intentional with your friendship group, find people who have similar interests, just like you, people who love God, people who have the same faith, because in that way it can help you grow as well with your walk with God and help you to be more comfortable and confident in your faith as well.
Before you guys see the next video, I just wanted to quickly explain. So in the next video, I basically forgot to screen record half of the actual footage. So I've had to do some recording of my own and create like a little montage just to kind of fill in that section. So I didn't want you guys to be confused. So yep, let's get back to the video. Okay, right, Rico. So my question is, so what do you think, what one thing you can think of is impacting young Christians today?
Well, that's quite a broad question, mainly because there's numerous things that plays a big part in Christian people's behavior these days. But if I had to pinpoint one thing, I would go with probably technology has got a big part to play in this, because although it's a good thing, like without technology we won't be able to do what we're doing right now.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also technology and things like social media have sort of created this standard of lifestyle that people need to strive to reach to. And I think Christians have we've possibly lost our way. We've probably lost our foundations and veered from that path because we're so infatuated by social media and striving towards the things that we're seeing there, forgetting that many times that these things they're not real. Do you know what I mean? I can be going through the most horrible time, and I'll, if you follow my timeline, you'll think that, oh, this guy is unbelievable and is living the most unbelievable life.
Yeah.
But actually, it's just all an act, because I can manipulate things so that it can be exactly how I want you to perceive it to be. So if you're not physically there, you won't know that it's all a lie.
Yeah.
So I think that society in general we've lost the foundations of what it is to be really happy.
Right.
And we are caught up trying to please people.
So true.
I think that's the main thing. So if you can ask me for one thing, I think that it's probably the day and age we're living in is where people don't want to feel left out.
Yeah.
So they change who they are in order to fit in with the crowd.
Right.
Now, one thing that I always used to say, and you guys probably still remember it, is that I always had a saying where I said that it's better just to stand out than to fit in with the crowd.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stand for something or you'll fall for everything or anything. You know. But I also have empathy, because it's hard. It's hard, Millie. Let's not forget it's difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult as Christians. Don't undervalue that fact. It's hard being a Christian in this day and age. But it's always been hard. But as the future goes, as we go deeper and things get more quicker, you know, people are impatient for everything these days.
Yeah.
People want that microwave effect. They want to put it in and take it out. It should be ready.
So
do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think trying to fit in, because if you don't fit in, you get labeled as a weirdo.
Yeah.
You get labeled as an extremist. You get labeled as all sorts these days, and you can see that in the impact with things like mental health. You know, so people struggle, people suffer in silence. So how do I make sure that I'm not part of those people getting labeled? So
Yeah.
I then drop my beliefs, my standards, my how I think my pillars of what I've always stood for. I compromise that so that I can be accepted by society.
Yeah.
But one thing that we forget is that, you see, as quickly as society is there to love you, they are rapid when it comes to turning their back on you as well.
Yeah.
So when you need them the most, they're very difficult to find.
Yeah, definitely. It's very true. It's so interesting because it's such a different perspective as well. Like not only Christian youth, but Christians in general as well. They all fit into this category of like technology and trying to be someone that they're not, and mental health. Like we all fit into that box.
Absolutely.
And what would you say, like what would you encourage young Christians or just Christians in general?
The thing that I would say is that, and when I speak, I always say we, because I include myself, because over the last years I've found it difficult as well, because you find yourself caught up in a world that's constantly changing, and some for the good, some for the bad. And I don't think there's anybody that's exempt from this, because we could all be better people. We could all be better Christians. So if I had to encourage us as a Christian family or Christian community, is let's go back to the basics.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the basics of what has made our faith strong. And when you go back to the basics, you'll find that it's little things that have a big impact.
100%.
So just things like having that quiet time, having that session, either whether that be first thing in the morning but having that time that can set you up for the rest of the day. Having that family altar. If now speaking to obviously parents now, having that family altar where it's 15 minutes, Millie, do you know what I mean? 15 minutes where at the end of the day, where you just sit down the table and sing a couple of worship songs.
Definitely.
Have a 5-minute little encouragement. Even if you take turns, like the kids, however old they are, small things like these, because at the end of the day, and I've grown up and I've lived, and I've gone through things where you get caught up with the things of the world, and it's nice for a certain period of time, of course, but the problem is when the wheel turns or the wheels start falling off, because invariably, if you're busy with things of the world, it catches up on you.
Yeah.
Then what do we do? Where are the people that was there with you, doing all these sorts of things? Where are they? Are they the ones that are then there for you and say, look, don't worry, we're here for you, we'll get you. No, it's you, either by yourself now, and who do you turn to? There's only one person you turn to, and that's your Creator. Because everybody else is too far. Yeah. Everybody else is too busy. Everybody else is too caught up in their daily life. You see you getting blue ticked. People are reading your messages, do not reply. People at your phone calls, and we're all guilty of it. Do you know what I mean? We are all guilty of it. People are phoning, you're not replying. So who do you turn to? Where's mom? Where's dad? They far away, maybe in a different town, different country. Do you know what I mean? You by yourself.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
You guys have been in that situation, Mela and yourself, where you've been away, you've been away with work. Do you know when you were doing the gap year with the team that you were busy with?
Yeah.
And I'm sure you have testimonies as well where you've down and out, and yes, you've got people around you, but they can't get the whole zest of what you're going through. So you then have to turn to the person that knows you better than you know yourself.
Amen.
That's the Creator. Do you know what I mean? So that would be my encouragement to us as Christians is to just go back to the heart of worship, go back to the basics.
Definitely.
And, he's always there for us, even though we let him down on numerous times. We turn our backs on him. We use him as almost like a genie. The genie in the lamp story where you if you need something, you get the lamp, you rub it, the genie comes out. Oh, what do you want? Oh, listen, I've just lost a family member. I'm feeling emotional. I need you to dry my tears. I need your unconditional love. I need you to be with me through this difficult, heartbreaking time, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And then God grants that. And then when I feel, you know what, I'm ready now. I feel okay. What do? I put the lamp back on the wall unit. I put the lamp back on as a sort of ornament, and then I just wait for my next downfall.
Yeah.
And then get it back again. And we're all guilty of it.
Definitely.
We're all guilty of it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been a bit long there, but
No, that's okay. That was perfect. Thank you so much, Rico. So that is the end of this week's video. Hope you guys was encouraged as much as I was talking to Tim and Enrico and finding out and listening to their perspective and their thoughts on what they think is affecting young Christians today, and just Christian in general as well. For me personally, I think it definitely made me think back, like Rico was saying. I think we get so caught up in what the world is offering, like technology and social media and all of that stuff, that we kind of get lost in it. And he said, it's just a matter of bringing yourself back to the basics, starting off, coming back to where you started. So stay tuned for next week's video. Next week's video will be coming up on the Sunday. I hope that you guys have a blessed week. Stay blessed, stay safe. Peace.